dun, 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 dun. We're live. And we're here. We're doing this. We're flood coating our pink, marbly, jady, Carrera-esque countertops in Emma's Pink Palace home.
Emma's Pink Palace.
Emma's Pink Palace. Sorry, I had to get something out of the resin. So, if you've been following along, we are in LA doing these countertops, and we are currently flood coating. And I wanted to go live so you can see a little bit of that process if you've never done countertops or you're planning to do countertops or anything countertoppy. Maybe this will help. What's up, you guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? You're watching while laying on the beach in Galveston. I'm glad Galveston didn't get delta'd because that was not a fun time. So right now, Jeffrey is popping bubbles with the heat gun. He's not using too much heat. He's merely popping the bubbles. If you use too much heat, then you'll liquefy your resin and it will more likely than not do this.
No, I'm not trying to push any resin. I'm not trying to blend anything. I'm just merely going over it to pop the bubbles.
We are, Karen, we are currently in WeHo.
WeHo. I just found out what WeHo was.
You did. Karen says, let's do a class. That's the resin I have left. I have 1 gallon of countertop and
Do not try this at home.
half a gallon of art coat. Oh my goodness.
I can't know where it's at.
He's living dangerously. The big hole's on the bottom. Oh my goodness. We're gonna be live and die. How are you keeping the dust out?
We're not. We're just praying that it doesn't come over here. We're asking it not to come over.
Yeah, we're gonna hope that works. Susan, I'll answer that question in 2 seconds. Are y'all going to use stone coat top coat on top of the flood coat? What's up, Clara? So for the art layer, we did use stone coat art coat. Sorry, that's a gross bottle. We used stone coat art coat. And we use that because it is awesome in terms of a working time. And when you're doing complex designs, you really need to have a resin that gives you the amount of time that you need to create whatever it is that you want to create. And then right now what's on there is stone coat countertop epoxy as opposed to the art coat. And we use that as our flood coat because it cures more quickly. It cures a little bit harder for like durability's sake. And everything else about it is basically the same as the art coat in terms of heat resistance and UV. I mean, the art coat has a little bit better UV, but the durability and the rigidity to which it cures is better with the countertop. There's this much resin left. For this amount of countertops, do you need me to bring this over there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it over there. I don't want you to dip.
I did have a glove on and I had to take it off.
Yeah. Typically, if you want to keep dust out of something like this, if you have like a closed off kitchen, we would recommend, like where that tape is, putting a tarp and then draping it out and over something like a tripod so it has like a lean-to type protection. However, since her place is kind of lofty in that there's no real walls closing this in, we're having to just turn everything off. There's no AC on, there's no ceiling fans. We're just gonna do this and disappear and let it pre-cure. if we hadn't have done this half bar, we could have just taped this frame off and then taped over that doorway and just secluded this in there. But because we have resin this part as well, we can't do that. But that's what we would do if we were just doing the countertop part. But since we did the bar top as well, that's what we had to do. I don't think I could have a pink palace exactly, but that countertop in pink marble is gorgeous. Thank you. Did you bring the sample board so she can put it on her wall as an art piece? I did not, but maybe I'll start doing that in the future. Well, this piece is almost done, Karen, and I don't know how far the valley is. But aside from the flood coat, this piece will be done, assuming it cures perfectly. If it does, we'll be done. If not, that's what we have a little bit extra resin for. I mean, the new top coat, that stone coat makes scratch proof, then dull finish. No, this will be a high gloss countertop. You're talking about the platinum and the matte top coat finish. We won't be doing that for this countertop. However, I think this particular design would look pretty amazing in matte. So, as you can see, the backsplashes and the front panels are quite large. They're very tall. And the way we extended the design up and over the front is by pre-painting it. I don't know if you can see that much. See that slight pink that's here? That is from just wet on wet painting the underpainting. And we did it on the back wall too. You can slightly see pink here and here and here. And so by doing that, you can alleviate. You don't really have to worry about putting your design up that continues down if you just pre-paint it up a little bit before the resin. I think people tend to overthink backsplashes because they want the design to continue up. And if you don't have it in such a way, don't do what he's doing. Wear gloves.
Sorry, I have no gloves, y'all.
We ran out of gloves. If you can avoid trying to continue a design down, then you should do that because it's going to try to flow like this, just north-south, instead of at any kind of diagonal. We did this with, we applied the dark later in the setting process so that it would stay where we want it to. Can you use resin over a tiled floor? Sure, this part of the bar top was actually marble tile that looked like the fireplace. It was the same tile as this. And so it had grout lines and everything. Luckily, the grout lines weren't so deep, and so you can kind of see one here where the paint kind of caught. But this was marble tile. Now you can do it. Claire's right. I would consult someone that does flooring because you probably have to do a whole bunch of prep work for floors. I want to do a floor, but I just don't want to do that kind of prep work. Also, this building isn't level, so we had a lot of runoff down this side. But I think that the shift from it not being exactly level left some really interesting design elements that you can only really achieve by tilting a countertop as opposed to just doing it in place. We don't do prefabricated countertops like in our home and then install them. We don't do any kind of construction at all.
Wow.
We only do countertops in place like this. Yeah, this is my favorite spot of the whole thing. This is my favesies.
Come back in about an hour and hit it with the more heat. Just be
See, so you don't want to overheat your resin, and when you mix it up, especially if you use like a power tool, you're going to introduce a lot of bubbles into your epoxy. And so in order to get all the bubbles out and leave your countertop with a beautiful finish or complexion, you hit it with heat, but you don't want to use too much because then you'll thin it and it'll just run off your surface. So we have a hair timeout on my thought. Hold on. So what we do is we'll hit it with some heat to pop the initial bubbles. We'll let it rest for an hour, and then we'll come back and hit it with heat again and pop anything that may have come up, which more bubbles that are more deeply encased in the resin will work their way out as time goes on.
And don't worry about your drips right now. I would worry about them probably 2 or 3 hours, maybe. Just hit those, because if you get rid of your drips now, they'll just come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's just for beginners. Some beginners probably do that, and then they just keep doing it. And hold on.
I got it.
I know, but that's some alcohol.
Oh, thanks. So, in order to get your resin to run smoothly down a vertical surface, instead of doing kind of a drip look like this separation right here, it does that where the resin is non-existent. So if you coat it all in some resin before you, oh, it's covered right there. You do run your hand across it with resin on it, and then you pour your resin, it'll drape more evenly instead of giving you those like teardroppy type of drips. And he's right. We'll come back in an hour or so and wipe this drip line off. There's something in it right there behind your cup. Well, thank you, Angela. I think it's beautiful. Nene, this is not the top coat. We're not doing this piece in matte. Using the top coat by Stone Coat is a whole nother ball game. It is very time sensitive and beautiful, but you have to make sure, like our client wanted a high gloss countertop. If she wanted matte, then we would have definitely done what we needed to do to get it to look how she wants it to, but she wanted high gloss. Jen said, unusual for pink to be in a kitchen, but it's subtle and amazing. So this client is super into pink. Pink, pink, pink. Pink. Pink, 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 pink. Pink, 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 pink. She loves it. She loves all things pink. And so she wanted originally to have a pink with white countertop. And then after doing some sample pieces, we decided on white with pink and some gold and deep pink accents. I think it turned out stunning. But, I might be biased. So we hand painted some gold onto the countertop because we're using molten gold or liquid gold by Montana. You can see it kind of right there. Just very fine lines. Thank you, Manuel and Austin. Rumpel Preach. I'm so in love with that apartment. It gives mid-century vibes, doesn't it? And October being pink month. That is very true, Jen. I didn't even think about that. Agreed, Clara. Thank you, Holly Ollie Oxen Free. So I think it turned out great. I think it accents the pink that she has in here already really nicely. So Jen, this deeper pink that I have in here, let me find a good bit of it. So that darker pink, it's got some liquid gold through it. But that darker pink color is from Resin Art. I don't have the jar out here anymore, but it's called Platinum Rose. The deep pink is Platinum Rose. It's from Resin Art. I carry it on my website. And it gives that deep grayed out color when it's under the other pinks. So it looks, you know how marble has different variations of whites and grays. That's what we were kind of going for with that deeper, darker pink. And I think it really did the job nicely. Because we didn't want to go grays and blacks because her kitchen is pink, 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 a little bit of white and also gold. Is this a 4-day project? So we did give ourselves 5 days for this project in case something does happen to it today. We have to come back in and do another flood coat tomorrow. Ideally, our process is coming in, doing the prep work, all this masking off, which takes a few hours. And then we'll do the base painting, and that has to degas or off gas overnight, or 24 hours is ideal, so that the paint doesn't trap gas under the resin, which could cause yellowing over time. Then after that time has passed, we'll do the art layer, let it cure.
We sand it with 400, just a light sanding.
We do light sand it with 400 grit sandpaper, and then we'll wipe it off with something, alcohol.
That fun stuff.
And then we do the clear coat. Gold are perfectly done, thank you. Your mom's in, she loves this. I agree, it's pink, but not like, oh, that's pink. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate it, Clara. She should hire you guys to do the cabinet doors. So, surprisingly, this amount of space is 50 square feet. Doesn't look like it, right? But when you add a 5-inch backsplash, well, that's 4-inch, and a 5-inch backsplash and a 5-inch front splash, I don't know what that's called. It really adds up. So doing a whole bunch of like 20 by 36 doors, I think it would look awesome, but it would basically double the cost. I think it would double the square footage. Oh, thank you, Mand. I would like to do my countertops before we move to Texas. I think it would help the market. I think it would too, because it's custom. And that's something that this client was particularly excited about, is that I kept her involved with the whole process of designing all the elements for what we're gonna do to her kitchen, all the shades of pink that she wanted, and a slight little bit of sparkle in some areas. That is Milky Way breaking through right there. And so she really liked that customization process. Because, I mean, you can buy pink things, you can buy marble, but I don't know that you can buy pink marble without it being insanely expensive.
Did you say my mom was on there?
Yeah, your mom's in here.
Oh, what's up, Mom?
Rachel says she doesn't like pink at all, but this is gorgeous. For someone else, it isn't overwhelming. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Vamp says she did her countertops, and doing that 100% helped the sale. Agreed, Jen. So once this is set for about an hour, we're going to come back in and hit it with one more bit of heat on the top to pop any other bubbles that may be coming to the surface, which I don't even see any right now, to be honest. But since we can't mask it off, we're gonna be coming through and picking out anything that lands in it. We're gonna keep a close eye so we don't have to do another flood coat. We're going to keep a very close eye and make sure nothing comes into it. And ultra baby it. We will start scraping off the under drips in maybe 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we'll come back in with an acetone wash.
Faster, right?
Yes, this is countertop, sets up a lot faster. We'll come in like 3 hours and like acetone wash the front to get any drip texture smoothed down. And Kim wants to know how long till you untape. 2 days? Untaping after 2 days is way too long.
Yeah.
We'll pull the
Probably
tape.
Pull the tape when we do the drips. We'll pull this tape. I don't know about that tape yet. That tape can stay.
This tape can stay, but the top tape, since it does have resin touching it against the wall, we'll come back in and move this tape out in like 2 hours. Once it's like that hot glue gumminess, you can always check that by getting up onto these drips right here. And if you like take a popsicle stick and touch it and pull it out, if you can pull like a 2-inch string, then that is set enough to pull your tape to where it'll melt back down into itself without having to use heat to remove it, because you don't want to thin your resin out, right? When you do that, make sure you pull the tape towards you so that you don't get anything on your wall. Not that you could pull tape away from you because there's a wall there, but like try to fold it back over onto itself almost, pulling. You don't want any, don't pull like straight up because you don't want any strings to get on the wall or into your design or whatever. So this, all this under here, when you can run your hand across it without, how do you say that without telling someone to put their hand in their resin?
Well, no, if you can just swipe your hand across it without it sticking. I mean, if you put your hand on it and you lay it on there and fingerprints come off,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. So don't, if you're gonna test it, just literally like, this is obviously a couple hours, like hours after, right? If you can just kind of swipe your hand across it.
It's hard to say an exact hour,
Right.
because
Temperature.
your ambient temperature and humidity and dryness have a huge factor to play in how quickly your resin sets. Yesterday we did our art coat at 10 a.m. and by 10 p.m. technically we could have done a flood coat because we could run our hand across it without anything moving.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to risk it for the biscuit, so we just did it just now, right now, today. And so, what was I saying? So we'll probably come back around 10 p.m. tonight because we're in dry California air and remove all of this once we're sure that no more dripping is going to happen, because ultimately this is protecting everything in the kitchen, right? Then she should color match the cabinet doors to the fridge. So we actually color matched. This paint is the paint that we pre-brushed on. So this like underpaint is the same. It's called Cupcake Pink by Bear. And hi, Sue. Her fridge, I think she's gonna do something with, because it's right now it's what contact paper that she found that's pink, but since her door was silver, it kind of dulled it. I know she's gonna paint her handle, I'm pretty sure gold or white to match. The owner hasn't seen it yet. She's supposed to be here at 10:30/11 to check it out with her mom. Susan did an ocean pour that was commissioned. My husband came down 3 hours later and stuck his thumb in the middle spot. That quote he liked. Sorry about that. I had a call. My bad. Oh, wow, not in Texas. No, Jen, we are in WeHo, West Hollywood, LA, doing this for a client that Googled us. I thought she was fam, but apparently she just Googled us and we came up, so we're here. So we're gonna baby this a little bit more. That looks so realish. And we will keep you guys posted. We wanted to do a live real quick and show you what we're up to right now. You need to film her reaction, see if she'll let you show us. Okay. Have you ever accidentally leaned on a counter you just coated? Have not, because once we do a countertop, we get out of the way. We don't hang out because you don't want to stir up any dust or hair or whatever. So you do it and you leave. That's typically how it goes. But we have like leaned over to try to do, for example, up here, and then our shirt got into the front edge.
There's like a whole like dry spot. Like...
It's right here. Thank you, Vamp. I hope you're feeling well as well. Cool. Hopefully she'll become a fan and subscribe. So you got that part. It's hard to see because we did such a good job with depth on those like fault lines. Not to toot my own horn, but honk. Come on, 50K, right? Hopefully she will become a fan and subscribe. Your mom says awesome job.
Thanks, Mom.
If you guys don't know, Miss Eunice Sandoval is who gave us this awesome blue-eyed artist. So you can thank her for that. You guys see any divots?
I have to go over here and...
We did not use platinum on this. This is just the countertop coat. Client did not want a matte finish. Client wanted gloss. So we didn't use platinum or their top coat finish. I guess maybe I should change my title from top coat to flood coat. Thank you, Clara. Vamp said, thank you, Eunice. He's one of the good ones. I concur. I appreciate it so much, Sue. I think there's some bubbles right in here, though. Anyways, you guys, thanks for tuning in and seeing what we're up to today. We just wanted to hop in and show you guys this. Because, you know, every piece that we do we're proud of, especially when... Not that I don't like pink, but, you know, when you hear pink countertops, you're like, I don't know about that. And so when we can make something what the client wants in their original color range, because it happens where people come to us wanting a piece with certain colors and we're like, no, you don't want that. So it makes us happy when we can please our clients. And I think she'll love it. But I'll see if I can, record her reaction. So thank you for all your thumbs, all your subscribers. Please take a moment and share our videos because we are trying to get to that 50K mark. And we're not far. Megan said you make a great team.
Thank you.
Comment you should get married. And then, but to have someone out of state and she didn't go local. Well, there are countertop people that we know that work out here. Not in LA, but close. But when you find someone that can do what your vision is, you kind of stop hunting, you know? Rachel says you made her dream countertops. I hope so. Man says, thank you for showing. That's what I thought. Yeah, pink, but it's superb. Oh, yak pink, right? Oh, it's very 70s for sure. Proud of your work. We are very. So all of her I hope she doesn't mind. All of her appliances, everything is pink. Pink, 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 pink. That's the stand mixer that I was sent a picture of to color match. By the way, if you ever have a client send you something to color match, make sure they take the picture outside in natural light, because lighting can change the color of anything, especially on a camera. See, Catherine the Paint, thank you so much. I agree, it is good word of mouth. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in, seeing what we're up to today. We will show you the finished product for sure, but till then, we gotta baby this sucker, and we will see you guys maybe later, maybe tomorrow. We'll see you sometime.
Sometime.
We love you guys so much. Be kind to one another. You never know what someone's going through, and we'll see y'all mañana later, maybe. I don't know. Okay, bye.
I said bye.